Hi, I'm Joe. I'm back with a new video. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about playing. Okay, about playing stuff. Okay, especially to do with like strum and sing. Okay, because I know that that's what a lot of people do. Okay, now again, like I did mention in my previous video, and I do apologize for the way I worded what I said lah. You know, some people have told me it's a little bit harsh, and I'm sorry for that because I got a little bit worked up. Actually, just talking about fake instructors made me really worked up. Okay, um, and I apologize for that lah. Okay, but actually, what I want to share with you guys a little bit is that if you have a real instructor, right? Okay, the kind of stuff they can do is really it goes beyond just strum and sing. And one of the things I want to talk about is uh, the ability to play lead. Okay. Now lead is something that is very hard to really define and explain to newbies. Okay. But basically, if you have the ability to do fingerstyle, it is easier for you to pick up the ability to play lead ukulele. If you can play lead ukulele, it means you can also strum and play lead at the same time and sing. Okay. Now singing, strumming, and playing lead at the same time is a very difficult task. Um, I do not profess to being an expert on this. Okay, I can do it, but I don't profess to be an expert. I've seen so far in the world of ukulele, there's very few people who can do it, as in really professionally. Okay, and one of them I think is probably James Hill. James Hill does it amazingly. For the guitar side, there are a few people like Eric Clapton, he can do that as well. People like Jimi Hendrix. I think Hendrix was the first to actually create this style of playing. Okay, whereby they strum chords and in between they play licks while singing. Wow, it's like juggling three things at the same time. Okay, very difficult, very absolutely difficult to play. Um, Requires a lot of focus, mental focus, and you need to really be able to balance multiple things at the same time, juggle multiple things at the same time. Okay, so okay, before I start showing you a little short demo, what is it about? I'm going to tell you, explain what lead ukulele is like. Okay, so for example, okay, let's say if I'm going to sing a song, I don't remember all the lyrics, but I just remember only one verse of it. Okay, let's say if I'm going to sing a song "Goodbye Joe," okay, which I think you guys know. You know the "Goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh." Okay, so let's say for example you play it in C. You go "Goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh." Okay, this is how you strum it, right? And you notice that in between, right? Okay, there's like little parts where there's no singing at all. Okay, so "Goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh." See, no singing. And then after it comes into "You gotta go, hold the bureau down to bio." Right, okay, so it goes like that. Okay, now what you can do is that you can either like get someone to strum the chords for you, and the second player does the lead. Okay, so the second player will go something like "Goodbye Joe, you gotta go, me oh my oh." Okay, you do something like that. Okay, but that's having two players play. Now having one person play is even more difficult. Okay, so having one person play, you're doing three parts together. You're doing the singing, you're doing the chord strumming as well, and the last one would be the lead playing. Now I'm not a vocalist. Okay, I'll just let you know first. My vocal range is around baritone. I can't sing very well either. Okay, I can't sing well lah. Okay, and I can sing in tune, but I can't sing well, and I can't sing very high notes because I'm a baritone, so my voice is very low. Okay, but I want to explain to you how this thing works, musically how it works. Okay, I believe that a lot of instructors out there, I won't, especially the fake instructors, the real instructors they know about this, but the fake instructors they don't understand this kind of concepts and how to teach it to people. Okay, so I'm going to just demonstrate a little bit. If you really got a real instructor to teach you, you can actually start to guide you and teach you how to add stuff into your strums, not just every day doing C, F, G all the time. Okay, but you can change it and make it more interesting. Okay, okay, so you can do something like "Goodbye Joe, we gotta go, me oh my oh, we gotta go, hold the bureau down the bio. It's C for the sweetest one, me oh my oh, son of a gun will have baby. do something like that. You can actually add in like little licks, okay, or lead phrases, lah. Okay, we call it lead phrases. So lead ukulele is basically built upon notes, built upon scales. Okay, and even like double notes, even what we call intervals. Okay, chromatic shifting. Okay, and of course the then I come back to the chord. Okay, it's really fast actually. If you play fast, it's difficult, but when you practice, actually you practice it very slowly. Okay, so like goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh, he got to go, hold the hero down the bayou. This eve on the sweetest one, me oh my oh, son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. The time where you actually come in and play those licks, and the point where you break off the licks and you start going. In other words, the part where you actually play those little licks, those little notes, right? And between that point and the point where you come back into the strum again, it's actually kind of like it needs to be arranged because it has to fall within the same bar. Okay. Now it can fall either within the same bar or maybe outside the bar. Sorry, or maybe half the bar. Okay, you can fall within the bar or half the bar. So it really depends on how you actually add in the licks and where you want to come in. Okay. Now to be able to play like that, I won't lie to you about this. Like it is difficult. Okay. Anybody can try to, even some people who can do some skills, they might try to fake their way through this. But to get it spot on the beat itself, it's very, very difficult, okay? And it requires a lot of training and years of experience, okay? And this is where I would say that this is why you should actually get an instructor that's real. Because a real instructor with experience, years of experience, they know how this thing actually works out. They know how to add this into the strum patterns, okay? And they know how to teach it to you, okay? So the thing is that some of these licks, they are quite simple. You don't really need to like, well, you may not really need to practice scales to know these licks. You can actually kind of like, if you can have someone teach it to you, someone who knows what he's doing, teach it to you. It is possible, but of course learning the scales themselves is crucial because it gives you the kind of speed, you see, because you can really like, you can, while you're strumming, and then you come back to the next chord, okay? So it's something that is very fast. Okay? It's a switch and it's a change. Okay. So now a very good way of playing would be probably if like usually for myself if I play lead, right, I try not to play one person do the chords and lead at the same time. I can, but it's tough. And sometimes it throws me off balance a little bit, you know. So I prefer to just focus on doing people just do this by itself, and then maybe someone else strums a chord for me. You see, yeah. So that's what I mean by lead ukulele playing. Okay, so lead ukulele playing is very interesting because, like I said, there are some parts of the song which are not there's no melody, so they are empty, right? You need to fill up those parts with some notes to make it more interesting. If not, your song gets very boring. The whole song will be like, goodbye, Joe, you go, me, oh, my, oh. Okay, just imagine strumming this thing for like the next 5-10 songs, and after a while you get bored of it because it's always the same thing. There's no progress. There's no variation or whatever. Okay, and yeah, I mean basically that's how it works lah. Okay, and one more thing that actually like okay, now this I just want to make it clear that this video is not meant as a lesson. It's just more like to share with you, okay, to show you what real instructors can actually do. Okay, as compared to the fake instructors who don't know how to teach at all. All they teach you is just C, A minor, F, G, that kind of thing. Okay, the real instructors can teach you to do a lot of different variations. Okay, one of it is also to add in notes into your strums as well. Ornamental kind of notes. Okay, so it could be like something like a goodbye Joe, he gotta go, he oh my yo, he gotta go. something like that, you can actually add in notes in between. You can hear that I'm going on. Okay, so it doesn't sound so boring. It isn't always one single chord strum all the way. It isn't always just a C chord or F chord or G chord. Okay, it's always like the C with a variant inside. Okay, the F. Okay, a G with a variant as well. Okay, so there's a lot of very interesting things we can do. Okay, we can even change it into like using chord inversions. You can actually work chord inversions into your playing as well. Okay, so I mean, good instructors will teach you how to actually do this lah. So you can go like goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh, he got to go, pull the bureau down the bayou. See for the sweetest one, me oh my oh, son of a gun will have big fun on the bayou. Goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh, he got to go, pull the bureau down the bayou. Something like this, you can actually add in stuff, okay? Or you can even like goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh. Okay, you can actually switch in and out of the different kind of what do you call that? Okay. Or maybe like somebody is going like C and then second person will be strumming like goodbye Joe, he got to go, me oh my oh. Okay, you can strum stuff like that. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways of doing your chord variations, okay, and things like that. A lot of ways, plenty of ways. It just requires a lot of time and effort to practice it and to arrange the pieces for to actually play that way. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's basically like that's basically what I was trying to actually say and get this point across. Okay, I mean there are a lot of real instructors out there, good instructors. Okay, people who really know music, they really know what they're doing, they know what exactly they're teaching. Some of them may be teaching from music schools and things like that, and they may not be able to teach you the more in-depth stuff, especially when they have music school kind of courses, because courses they have to have a certain baseline standard whereby everybody is just going to do C, A minor, F, G, that kind of thing, right? Okay, but some of these instructors are able to teach you stuff like that in terms of like maybe one-to-one kind, or either one-to-one lessons or maybe individual private lessons, things like that. Okay, so the people that I would probably recommend okay, would be, I mean, okay, I mean not to blow my own horn now, but obviously I'll recommend myself. Okay, I'll recommend people like Tommy Tan, Mona Wang. I'll recommend definitely these are the real people, real instructors who can play. The really real instructors and good ones. I'll recommend also would be like people like Alan Su, okay, Stephen Chong. These are amazing instructors. Okay, they're very good. Who else? I think Kang Yang as well. Kang Yang is the boss of Repub Music, also a fantastic player and fantastic instructor as well. Okay, so I just want you guys to know about who are the real and who are the fake instructors. You need to know. Okay, yeah. So this is basically what we can actually do on the ukulele. If you really know what you're doing, you can, instead of just always focusing on strum and sing, you can actually do stuff like that lah. Okay, but in order for players to be able to do things like that, in order for you to be able to learn to do stuff like that, you need to go through a very fingerstyle oriented kind of training first, because fingerstyle is kind of like pieces of music which are arranged to be played with fingers. Okay, or maybe like something like that. You can actually like do. It's hard for me to look into the camera and play at the same time. It gets confusing because it's like a mirror image of myself. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, that's how it works now, okay? And if you approach the ukulele from a finger style, if you learn it from the beginning, from a finger style perspective, what will happen is that over time, and now I'm not saying that 1 or 2 months kind of thing, it might take maybe up to a year, maybe up to 2 years or 3 years even, okay? Don't be surprised. It really depends on how fast your progress is. I mean, but generally speaking, I would say that at least 6 months, 6 months of fingerstyle, proper music and fingerstyle kind of training for 6 months, minimum at least 6 months to 1 year, okay, depending on how fast your learning ability is. But minimum at least 6 months. It will give you a very good insight into how the instrument is played. And when you go on and continue by yourself, okay, let's say maybe you take lessons from instructor for maybe a year or so, and you go on to and you continue to learn by yourself, okay, you already have the ability to sight read very well, and you have the ability to read music and work out music from paper, from scores, from tabs. And by doing so, okay, I don't just mean single note melodies like, yeah, I don't mean things like that. I mean stuff like, okay, I mean the more complex things like that. I don't mean the very simple kind of stuff, because once you can work out those kind of things by yourself, you can read notes well, and you can actually work out the more complex fingerstyle pieces by yourself. You become independent, and you actually be able to learn music from then on. You see, and what happens is that when you start playing all these pieces often, uh, you it helps to improve your memory, and it will also help your hands to become more supple and more flexible and fast. And you're better able to react to chord changes or note changes. You see, so fingerstyle is very very important. Okay, uh, strum and sing, while it is important, okay, and I would like to say that I know there are some vocal instructors out there who use the ukulele as a tool to give a kind of like a rhythm, so they can actually do their strum and sing. That's okay too. That's fine. Okay, because at least they are vocal teachers. Their main focus is actually on vocals, and they can sing well. They can sing better than me. Okay, they can sing better than me, or maybe most of us good real instructors out there. Okay, so the vocal teachers are different, because for them the ukulele is more like a tool to teach vocals, which is fair enough, fine, you know. But for those who are like fake, they have no music background, no music training, they can't sing, no vocal training even, no vocal training, no instrumental training, nothing, and then they go out touting themselves as instructors. Those are really frauds. Those are frauds. So please stay away from those kind of instructors. Okay, just stay away from them. Okay, how you want to know? Like I mentioned before my previous video, how you want to know if these are good instructors? Ask them to demonstrate to you a fingerstyle piece. Ask them to play something impressive for you to see. Okay, you see a guy getting stuck on his fingerstyle. He cannot even move his fingers at all. You know that this guy is a fraud already. Okay, some of them will just try to ignore fingerstyle altogether, or try to do some like fake fingerstyle, like they play like that. You know, those are the fake instructors. So just watch out and be careful, because you know that there's a lot of fraudsters out there, people who just want to go around, because there's really no regulations currently, especially in Singapore. There's no regulations for ukulele, and how what kind of standard you're supposed to attain before you can become an instructor. Okay, so when there's no regulations, means that anything goes. Even a person who absolutely doesn't qualify to be a teacher, okay, he can just go around telling people that he's a teacher and pretending to be a teacher and making money from it even. There's a lot of this happening in Singapore now. Okay, so do be careful. Okay, um, yeah, I mean, so I just want to like mention. I just wanted to like tell you guys what the real instructors and what the fake ones are. I also wanted to show you what you can actually do with the instrument as well. Okay, so again, the ukulele, unless you're going for vocal lessons, you really want to go for vocal lessons, then it's fine to go for a vocal teacher who might not play fingerstyle. She does, maybe they just do strum and sing, but they are real vocal teachers. They teach you how to control your voice, and vocal training, real vocal training, by the way, has sight reading as well. They actually can read notes. Okay, they also go for exams as well. Okay, just in case you didn't know, there's such thing as examinations, formal examinations for vocals as well. Okay, they got grading as well, because the voice is like an instrument. and the voice can be examined as well, same as any other instrumental skills that you might possess. Okay? This is something that the fake instructors do not want you guys to know, so they will always tell you guys that no, you don't need any of this kind of formal training to be instructor. It's not true, absolutely not true. Okay? The real instructors are the ones who have actually had some form of formal training before. Either they have some very good musical background, things like that. So when they pick up the ukulele, immediately their ability to play it is way well above the average standard of anybody else, because they already have that kind of background, especially the guitar players. Those guitar players, they have a lot of advantage in terms of chord fingerings and all that. Okay? In terms of playing skills, okay? They have all these kind of things at their disposal. Okay, so try to look for someone that's like that, lah. Okay, and I think that yeah, it's important. It's important for you, especially if you're going to learn the instrument. You really want to learn the instrument, especially if you just want to, even if you just want to strum and sing, just for the fun of it, and you don't want to like really train to have vocals. You don't want to sing like Pavarotti or something like that. You don't want to be like a classical singer. It's okay. It's fine. No, in that case, you don't need a vocal teacher. What you really need is actually a real ukulele teacher. If your purpose is actually to strum and to really get into the more advanced kind of strumming, okay, then you need a real teacher to teach you how to do all these kind of things. And when I talk about real strumming, right, I don't mean just like C, A minor, F, G. I don't mean stuff like that. Okay, these are easy. These are simple kind of strums. Okay, these are what I call 8-beat strums. Okay, the reason is because, okay, when you go, for example, in 4/4, one bar, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, when you break it up into half, it becomes 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Right, when you go into 16, it's actually one beat is become like 4 beats. So you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slow motion is right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, of course if you go fast, yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the interesting kind of strums actually come in when you actually really understand music, and you have a teacher who guide you in terms of how to count, how to tap your feet and count according to the beats and the rhythm. And the teacher, the real teacher, real instructor, cannot just teach you very simple 8-beat strums, 4-beat or 8-beat strums. Can teach you all the way up to 16-beat strums, all the way up to the 32-beat tremolo kind of strum. Okay, that kind of speed. But tremolo strum you won't really be using for strum and sing, because if you do that, it's going to be so noisy that no one can hear anything else. Okay, so usually for rhythmic kind of strumming, they will go all the way up to 16 beats. Now 16 beats, obviously you will not be going like you won't be strumming like that, because it's going to be very noisy. So obviously there will be rhythms, means that some parts of it will be rest, right? Music they call it rest, which means silence in some parts of that same bar. Okay, so what means that for 16 beats they can do very interesting strums which are like that. Okay, it goes like that. And the really good instructors will not only just teach you how to do 8-beat and 16-beat strums, they even teach you how to make it more interesting by adding techniques. Okay, so I can even add in, like just now I was talking about notes and all that, right? Ornamental notes. You can add in ornamental notes into your voice. See, you can actually use 16-beat strums with this kind of thing. Okay, you can even use 16-beat strums with the right hand kind of techniques like rasgueado, or okay, maybe like a can do very complex, more complex kind of strum patterns. Okay. 16-beat strums are interesting because it has a bit more rhythmic kind of like flow to it rather than just dang 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 the same calypso strum or whatever strum you call it. It's always the same dang 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 all the way lah. Okay, very boring, absolutely boring. Okay, uh, some instructors, especially the fake instructors, some of these fake instructors like to teach a lot of weird stuff like they will tell you a lot of funny stuff they might teach you some weird strum now, which may be used like for example in bluegrass music and things like that. Well, the point here is that while it's good to learn how to play bluegrass as well, okay, I would like to say that it's not exactly a very good, not exactly very useful because most of the time if you're going to go for like strum and singing sessions with your friends, you won't be strumming like that, and also that kind of technique that they're teaching is also kind of like more applicable as well, more applicable to most of the music that you're going to play with friends and all that. So a good instructor is someone who will teach you stuff that is more applicable to the real world. Okay, more applicable to the kind of music that you listen to, that I listen to anyone else who listens to it. Okay. Uh, Same thing. If I'm going to teach a uke, I won't like go around teaching people how to play classical stuff. Even though I can play classical stuff, okay, but for the purpose of practicality, I'll say no, I wouldn't. You see, I'll be teaching them the standard kind of strums. I'll be teaching them how to do like more like 16-beat kind of strums and how to use techniques to make it more interesting. I'll be teaching them how to do more like reggae, okay, or maybe like okay, stuff like that, okay, ska reggae, the kind of strumming, which are more interesting because you actually use them in the real world. Okay, I'll teach them how to do more like a rock kind of strumming. Okay, a more rockish kind of strumming. I'll teach them a lot of different kind of strums basically okay. Even like bossa nova strums like that, more interesting strums which use a lot of swing and things like that okay. So yeah, that's basically what I'll teach people, and I wouldn't go around trying to give fancy names to their strums and all that. I wouldn't teach you strums that can never be used in real life. That's the point. Okay, well I don't profess to know every single strum in the world, but I would say that I do know enough music to know how to build my own strums based on whatever genre of music that I want to play. Okay, be it pop, be it rock, be it blues even like the blues shuffle strum like okay something like that you can actually do a lot of different. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, very in-depth stuff that can be used to play the uke. Okay, but you really need someone that's good to guide you. Okay, so getting an instructor that's fake, your skills will never improve, and there will never be interest. People will just forever look at the ukulele as if it's a toy, and they'll say that I'm not interested in this kind of thing. Nobody wants to like if I mean if you always, for example, say if you're a new person who has a little bit of interest in the ukulele, and everywhere you go you see people just going okay, you might find it interesting at first and you start doing C A minor F G and it gives you a lot of like happiness and satisfaction, but after a while, a couple of months, you get bored of it. You get it's the same thing. It's always C A minor F G, C A minor F G. That's all you have. That there's no instrumental. There's no real. You can't really play anything that's really instrumental. there's no variation to it lah. If you always play C minor, it gets boring. Okay, especially like some of the instructors who, some of these fake instructors who say that they play country and all that. I mean, you know, the country style is very common. What's the most common country style you can think of? I can name you at least 2 guitarists. Okay, I think maybe Chet Atkins. Okay, and then probably the second guy would be Jerry Reed. Okay, and we talk about country playing, country guitar playing. It's always about having that Travis picking, where they go like, okay, so a real instructor should be able to teach you how to actually do that kind of stuff and even guide you on how to use it, because the Travis picking is very interesting. It can be used for a lot of things, not just only picking chords. You can use it to play chords to accompany a singer. You can also use it to play chord melody kind of thing. Maybe like you can actually apply it to almost anything you want. And I do it quite a lot. I use Travis picking a lot to apply to almost any kind of music any kind of piece that I want to play. Okay, it changes the whole sound. Instead of always having the same finger style, you can also change to different finger style as well. Okay, so yeah, that's about it lah. That's how this kind of thing works lah. I hope that my sharing will actually kind of open up your eyes and let you see what can be done on the ukulele. Okay, I think one of the stuff that I did in my previous video, I think was this one. I can change it. See, I can actually add Travis picking into this kind of thing, because it's a matter of really understanding the technique and having familiarity with the fingerboards, having a very familiar kind of very good familiarity with notes and chords and things like that, which can only be attained through a fingerstyle syllabus. Okay, so while I'm not a vocal teacher and I can't sing as well as a vocal teacher, okay, but one thing is that I can sing in tune, and I'm able to teach you how to sing and play properly in tune. I can teach you how to sing and play and add in a lot of other stuff as well. Okay, and not that, I mean, not just me lah, but I mean any other good ukulele instructors out there who actually really have the kind of music background, they can teach you how to do this kind of thing. Okay, I feel that there's a lot of misinformation in the industry. A lot of people don't really understand what's happening. A lot of people don't really know where to start, how to start, what to look for. So they are easily conned by all these fake instructors. You see, so even when there are real instructors around, they also do not know how to see. The real instructor can be doing very fanciful stuff, and then the rest of them are still like blind to it. Everyone still thinks that, oh, the fake instructor is the real instructor, but actually the real instructor is the one that is doing all this stuff, and no one actually notices it. So I like to do these sort of videos to show and educate people, and tell you guys what the real instructors can do. You see, and show you how amazing and how effective they can be when they apply that kind of knowledge and skills and theory into real playing. Even for strum and sing, it totally changes the strum and sing ball game. Okay, it's no longer the same C A minor FG for the next 5 or 6 years. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this lah. Sorry if it's a little bit long, and I think that's what I have to say lah. So thank you and goodbye.